Hello and welcome to Psychgeist, where we talk about the psychology of the era, the science of games. I'm your host, Dr. Rachel Kowert, and on today's episode of Jargon Schmargon, we're going to be talking about social identity. I previously talked about gamer social identity in an episode of Jargon Schmargon entitled Gamer, but I wanted to do an entire episode to explore social identity more broadly as a concept in and of itself. Social identity is a part of an individual's self-concept that comes from their perceived membership in a relevant group. This concept originates from social identity theory, which is a theoretical framework developed to explain the tendency for individuals to categorize the world into groups, and consequently generate in-group, out-group biases in their thoughts and behaviors. Things like intergroup conflict, group cohesion, stereotyping, and prejudice. As discussed by Hall, identification is the self-definition of the individual, rather than categorizations based on static definitions of identity applied from the outside. So this is the difference between saying I identify as a gamer versus someone from the outside giving me that label based on, say, the amount of hours a week I play, which honestly at this point I don't think I would qualify. As further defined by Tafel, social identity is that part of an individual's self-concept which derives from their knowledge of their membership of a social group or groups together with the value and emotional significance of that membership. So it's not just identifying as part of the group, but that group being significant to you, that having an emotional value for you. As humans, we are continuously cataloging ourselves and others into various social groups, ones based on organizational membership, religious affiliation, gender, and age, among others. For example, if I was to pick a group based on my organizational membership, I would check the box of psychologist or mental health advocate. I would check the religious box of people who share the same religion as me, or boxes based on activities that I enjoy, like going to the gym, riding my bike, or gaming. I would also take smaller boxes based on these categories as I consider myself affiliated with other existential psychologists, for instance, or the people who go to the same church as me, or the people who play Alliance in World of Warcraft. You know how I feel about the Horde. These categorizations bring order to the social environment and enable individuals to identify themselves in the social landscape. As seen from my example, an individual can belong to multiple categories simultaneously. I can be a female and a gamer, but the extent to which an individual identifies with and values each membership exists along a continuum. These social identities are also comparative and relational in nature. Individuals who seek and find positive differences between themselves and other social groups achieve and retain a positive social identity. This is important as a positive social identity fosters feelings of belongingness and self-worth and can enhance self-esteem. It also has a downside too, in the form of in-group, out-group biases. I talked about this briefly before in my video on toxicity in games, as many people believe this in-group, out-group dynamic of I am a gamer and this is what a gamer looks like to me, and you are not a gamer because you don't fit the same boxes that I fit, is one of the reasons why toxicity and harassment and dark participation continues to exist so prominently in gamer cultures. Social identity is an important concept to consider when undertaking any research in the social sciences, as how one identifies with a social group provides vastly different information than their categorization from a more objective measure. Like I mentioned earlier, the difference between self-identifying as a gamer and somebody ascribing that to you based on play patterns. Research has found that one's subjective identification is a better predictor of group behavior than more objective measures, and as such, the incorporation of social identity as a measure of video game involvement in particular is essential. So, social identity, one's subjective identification to any particular group. These can be based on activities you participate in, organizations you belong to, or even demographic factors like age, gender, and ethnicity. What groups do you identify with? If you like this video and you want to see more, please like and subscribe. And until next time, be excellent to each other and always cite your sources.